Shalom, shalom, family. What's going on? Shalom, shalom, shalom. Hope everybody's doing well. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? All right. Definitely like and share, invite, and whatnot. If everybody can hear me, if you can hear me clear, put a 1 in the chat. If you can hear me clear, put a 1 in the chat. I want to make sure that my sound is good, and want to make sure that everything is good. All right. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat, and as we go from there, right? I'm gonna give it a couple minutes, brothers and sisters, to jump on here. I want to talk about some things that are very important that I think needs to be addressed, and so I'm gonna give it a few minutes here for everybody to jump in. All right. All right. All right, all right. Everybody can hear me good, good. Shalom, 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 shalom. Just again, just giving everybody a chance to jump on here. I very rarely do live YouTube videos. So much stuff going on, crazy schedule, all that good stuff, man. And so, but I want to definitely do address an issue and whatnot regarding a situation that was brought to my attention where my name was mentioned, as well as the name of my assembly, or the name of my church, B.O.O.M Church. And so I want to deal with this. And many of you know I deal with things the utmost respect. I try to deal with things as according to the scriptures, as a man of the Most High. And then sometimes there are instances where you just make sure that you don't step down or down yourself to the level of a fool. So, but with this situation and things that's going on, I definitely want to make sure that everybody is clear with everything that is going on, so that way things are truly understood, and that way my name, as well as the name of our assembly, is held in high regard, because I'm a firm believer that your name is worth more than dollars. So we're going to deal with this here in just a minute. Again, I'm giving brothers and sisters a chance to jump on here, tune in. I'll be starting here in about 3 minutes here. So it's 11:15 right now, Eastern Standard Time. I will be starting here at 11:18. All right. So let me do this. Let me go to groups and go from there. So if you are on Facebook and you're part of any group on Facebook, feel free to drop the link or copy the link and drop it in those groups. I know many people are a part of, I think it's the Biblical Rumble Room or something like that. If you're a part of those groups, because I think that's also where the video was placed, or there was a dialogue, a conversation that took place as well regarding some DNA information and conversation that was on Cher-ry Love's YouTube channel. And so there was a particular guest that was on Cher-ry Love's YouTube channel that I'm going to also address as well. And so I think that I think that it's very important that we understand what is going on here and all of the complexities of things, so that way people can have a true understanding of what's going on. You want to use terminology and talking about foul play. You're talking foul play. You're talking unjustly accusations and things like that. I think those are some harsh things that people have to pay for. And so when you start putting out things, and you have to be very careful when you start presenting things and putting things out, slandering certain things, false information, all those types of things. I think that it's in our day and age, their technology is such in a great place to where all it takes is a simple Google search to do these type of things. But that's only if you're unbiased. That's only if you don't have a presupposition. That's only if you're all about truth. If you're not about truth, if you're not about putting out truth and information, of course, you're going to not do your due diligence, and you're going to try to do everything you can, regardless of the facts, of the truth. But because your presupposition and all of these things, you're going to put out information, and that is actually being a Hasatan. Those things are, you're actually being used as a Hasatan. You're actually being used as an accuser. And so it's very important that we get this down. So it's right now, it is 11:18, and I know more people will be coming in. Okay, let me give you a rundown, and I'm going to play the video because I was contacted by my cousin, Pastor Kelly Richardson, who has a YouTube channel, We Woke Now. And so he contacted me on yesterday, and he was sharing some things with me about it because he knows I'm not into, I used to be heavily in apologetics. I haven't been in apologetics in a while. Started a church about 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago. We have several assemblies that is doing well. I don't have time to be online arguing with people who are not even pastors, not even teachers, don't even hold any form of position in the church. Or if they do, they're just out here wilding out with no accountability. I don't have time to engage and deal with those things. But when it comes down to the name of myself, my family, my church family, and the name of our church, period, I have an obligation as a man of Yah to defend those things, especially when there are a lot of untruths. And so there was a video that was presented and that was done. The video has been unlisted, which is very rare for Cher-ry Love to do on her channel, to unlist a video when she is unapologetic about everything that she says. And so it's kind of interesting from what I understand that she doesn't, react like this. So I don't know what was the purpose of the unlisting of the video. I can pretty much probably tell that somebody probably got in her ear about it, and that's why she unlisted the video. So with that said, we're going to get into start here, and we're going to get into the information. And my prayer is that always that people come to repentance, that people will get, issue even from the practical understanding an apology, at least where you were wrong. But of course, if there's a situation where someone is prideful, they'll just let it kind of vanish away. But at the end of the day, the Most High, he deals with those, he deals with people. We can't be out here saying we preach the gospel and the gospel is at the forefront and these form of things, and we don't do our due diligence as adults. Let's not even get in the practical side, but as an adult, as a man, as a grown up, we teach our children to apologize when they've done wrong to somebody. But yet us as adults seems to be is that if we continue to have the level of pride that we don't even issue an adult an apology for being wrong, but yet and still we want our children to apologize when they're wrong because maybe the child has embarrassed us. Well, that's the same thing with the Most High. That's the same thing with Christ. When we embarrass him, we should be able to go to someone or tell someone. It doesn't have to be, it can go to someone and tell someone, hey, listen, I was wrong in this area. I slipped up. I didn't get the information correct, and I apologize. But of course, we'll see if that's the case. So let's get into it here. I want to get into, and the name of this video is Proverb-Less. The Proverb-Less woman. It's just a lack of wisdom. When I saw this video, I was like, wow, man, this is a lack. This is this is the epitome of the lack of wisdom when it comes down to doing just simple research, all because there's someone that's a guest or someone that may be against a movement or against a group of people in their belief system. And you feel as though, well, man, shoot, just because they putting something out there, let me just partner with them versus doing their due diligence versus I don't have anybody preach at our assembly that I haven't done due diligence on. I don't do Facebook Lives and YouTube interviews without doing due diligence on people, because that can come back to haunt you. It can come back to bite you, as it is in this case. And there are situations where this can be brought to a legal ramification. Now, the thing is that people really don't understand why is it that, why Pastor Kelly, why is he talking about he want to sue, and why are we, that's whack if you talking about suing people. Well, it's whack when you put out information that is incorrect, and doggone right, we're gonna that's what we retain lawyers for. That's the whole purpose of retaining a lawyer. That's the purpose of having a business. That's the whole purpose of being out in the public. When someone does something or says something wrong that is incorrect, that can be detrimental to your business or your ministry, you retain lawyers for that purpose. And anybody, all right, anybody would simply say, especially if you saying that I'm not your brother and I'm not your sister. So if you're saying that I'm not your brother in Christ, which that's been said several times by Cher-ry Love, she doesn't even respect anyone to call himself a pastor. She's like, well, he's not a pastor, this, that, and the third, in these type of conversations. Well, I don't have the due diligence to sit there and call you and talk to you and ask you about these things because you don't even identify me as your brother and your sister. So therefore, it's my obligation to go the legal ramification route to deal with you outside of the brother and sister scope, and to deal with you based on the systematic scope of the government. And so these are the type of things that we have to engage in and deal with and talk about. Okay, so this is very important to deal with this. All right. So we're going to get into I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to get into this. All right, we're going to talk about this. Let me see here. I think this is it. Okay, yes. All right, so we're dealing with Proverbs, okay? We're dealing with Proverbs here. So let's look at it here. All right, let me make sure my screen is up. I think everybody's good. They can hear me. Good to see my cousin in there. Good to see all of the brothers and sisters in here. So let's look at this, all right? Let's look at this, all right? And this is the very actions that we see that Cher-ry Love takes. And this is why I call it the Proverb-Less woman, because wisdom, okay, for someone to parade themselves around as being very astute with the scriptures, there's a certain way you conduct yourself, okay? So Proverbs 18, chapter 18, verse 2-7 says here, all right, a fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion. When wickedness comes, contempt comes also. And with dishonor comes disgrace. The words of a man's mouth are deep waters. The fountain of wisdom is a bubbling brook. It is not good to be partial to the wicked or to deprive the righteous of justice. A fool's lips walk into a fight. A fool's lips walk into a fight. A fool's lips walk into a fight, and his mouth invites a beating. A fool's mouth is his ruin, and his lips are a snare to his soul. This is exactly the scripture that exemplifies Cher-ry Love and her actions. Now, let's go on beyond. Let's go on past this. Let's get into the video. All right. We'll get into the video. And I have it marked, and I'm going to deal with this. I'm not going to deal with everything because this is going to be a two-part video. I'm going to deal with the JED match results and teaching and showing the JED match results and how you break it down. I'm going to do that in a second video because I've emailed JED match already regarding the video. I've emailed JED match and the creator of the project software in which they use. I emailed them already. And so in part 2 of the video, I will be showing the email that I received from them, as well as I'll be breaking down how do you read the DNA. And so when we look at, when I watch this video, the particular guest on the video has no clue what they're talking about when it comes down to reading and understanding the data. And this is foolish. This is foolish. All right. And you'll see why she invited this particular individual on the platform without doing proper due diligence and research of the individual, all because this particular woman who's on here has an issue, who's been trolling me, myself, and my ministry for over a year that I ignored. So I ignored her. I blocked her. I don't even deal with people who are trolling. And so now she put up a post on Facebook. Cher-ry Love sees the post and invites her on her show without doing proper due diligence of who this particular individual is. Okay, so let's get into the video.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Listen. Okay, so before we go in, so family, I told you there's something, some explaining. Look at the title again. These Hebrew Israelites, they got these Hebrew fakes, got a lot explaining to do, and you about to find out why we said what we said, why I titled this. So I'm gonna go ahead on here, and Sister Salem going to explain some things. I'm gonna read the post here that our beloved sister literally shared. What got me all like, so family, I want you to take a look here at your screen. Glory, hallelujah, praise God. Who is this sending me stuff? Hold on, who this? What's this? What's it? Look at Brother Jordan. What he do now? You know what? Don't listen to Jordan. Don't pay attention to Brother Jordan. Y'all are forbidden to pay attention to Brother Jordan because he's just terrible right now. But I love my dear brother. So anyway, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to read this here post to you. What brought this? What Sister Salem is going to break down to you. So I want you to take a real good look. I know I couldn't blow it up any further than that, but I'm going to read it.
Can anybody see the video? If you can see the video, put a 1 in the chat. If you can hear the video, put a 1 in the chat. If you can see and hear the video, put a 1 in the chat. All right, good.
To you and all that good stuff. So our beloved sister posted this here on Facebook. So let me go ahead and start reading. It says, sorry for the dramatic XXX exclamation marks, but I just wanted you guys to see the faulty of this LOL. I know I sound mean text though. Text though. The only reason I have shared this is because of Pastor William Brown of the BOOMCHURCH. Now, y'all remember him. That's Mr. Majors, who be running with Sister E and Teo and all them, right? He be lying and sliding too. He ain't a real pastor though. But anyway, let's keep going. At least that's what I say. They use GED match to prove his members of his church that he is an Israelite.
Now, I'm gonna stop right there. Now, this particular individual who was a guest on Cher-ry Love's platform said, and I quote, I use JED match. She says the only reason she's sharing this is because of me. I don't even know this particular individual. I don't know him. I never met them. All I know, they've been trolling. I don't know even know Cher-ry. Okay. But this particular individual said, the only reason I shared this is because Pastor William Brown of Boom Church uses jet match to prove his members of his church that he is an Israelite. Now, we have several members of my church. One is Elder Beat Bros Production. It's in the chat right now. We have several members of our church in here. Deacon Meek Zadik is in here. Elder Beat Bros is in here. We have a couple. Elder Fenton Ramsey is in here. We have several people that's on this live right now. Several people haven't even gotten DNA tests. For one, we don't even push DNA testing in our church. Okay, it doesn't matter if you black, white, Chinese, Puerto Rican, or Asian. It doesn't matter. We welcome everybody to our assembly. So I don't know what she's talking about. Okay, this is another flaw that I'm going to expose here in a minute. Okay, but yet Cherry Love didn't do her due diligence. She just ran with it. Why? Because of what I said, the Proverb-Less woman.
Sister E and Kelly Richardson, Ron Shields, DeMonte Poland, aka Yehukanan, exposed DNA, exposed XXXXXXX. Look at that. GEmatch.com failed XXXXX. I knew it. Okay, I told you guys these Hebrew Israelites are so false and it's an error. They used GEDmatch.com and chose the wrong population. So they all get in the same results.
So I'm going to expose that in part two. This is, to be honest with you, this is so elementary. We shouldn't even have to deal with this foolishness, okay? The ones who do have, okay, DNA tests, who did take it on their own in our church, some of them do have the same results, and there are others who don't have the same results using the same project. And I'm going to show you the results in part two, as well as I'm going to show you the email that I sent to Jet Match, as well as I'm also, going to show, as well as I'm also going to show you how to calculate it. And therefore you can't use, here's the thing. Every project that Jet Match give you under your profile, it's a project they giving you because it matches your DNA. No matter which project you use, Jet Match don't just say, you know what, we have 20 projects and everybody that has a DNA test, we're just going to give them all of the projects and let them decide. No, they don't do that. What they do is every marker that matches whatever particular project they have, they give you that project. And I'm going to show you in videos where there are other people who use Jet Match who have projects that I don't have. This is why I'm telling you, these people running around here talking this madness, and they got some young lady, on her platform spewing lies, and Cherry Love didn't even do the due diligence to research the foolishness. This is what I'm talking about. It makes no sense. But because there's such a hatred, there's such a hatred. Here's the thing. The only reason why I didn't need a DNA test to prove anything. I didn't need a DNA test to prove anything. You know why I got a DNA test? Because urban apologists kept saying, well, can you prove it through DNA? This is the reason why me and my cousin Kelly Richardson, this is the reason why Sister E, this is the reason why we got the DNA testing that we got. This is the reason why we got the DNA test, because they kept saying, and matter of fact, me and my cousin got our results. I think we may have gotten it before Sister E, but because Sister E got her results and she was on Berean's platform panel, they revealed hers first on Berean's panel. But it wasn't even about revealing it. It wasn't even about revealing the results. There was no encouragement to tell people to go out and get a DNA test, because most Hebrew Israelites don't even believe in DNA testing anyway. They believe it's a fraud and a scam. So this makes no sense. Most Hebrew Israelites believe that DNA testing is a fraud and a scam. That's why when you talk to the camps, they don't believe in getting the DNA test. Me personally, It's cool. It don't matter. You can get a DNA test. Okay? It's good to know where your family tree is, to know your family history, to know your family tree. You use Ancestry. Ancestry will give you your localized family tree and migration patterns of your grandfather, of where your first slaves went, and you can find family members. I found several family members on Ancestry, but I wanted to know what tribe I came from. That's the reason why I did JetMatch, and not only that, I did several other DNA testing companies to locate my tribe, to make sure there was a consistency, and there was. But they don't know. They just run around here talking sideways. Okay, now let's look at this.
So they all will get the same results. So they will all, I'm going to repeat.
You can't get the same results unless you have the same results. This is the ignorance. This is the ignorance. You can't get the same results. It's the same thing in like going to get a swab test done. If I take my son, okay, and I take all of my children and get their mouth swabbed, and I get my mouth swabbed, if I don't match them, it's going to say, well, you know what? Hey, 2 of your children match, the other 2 don't. So that tells me if the other 2 don't match, that tells me that those other 2 children are from somebody else other than myself. Other than myself. That's how DNA works. Okay, you're not just going to sit up here and get a DNA test done, and they give you these tribe listings, and you just clicked on something. Oh, that's how y'all got the same results. Oh, because y'all clicked the wrong thing. There is no wrong categories on JetMatch. Y'all know wrong categories. That's why you have a particular kit. Everybody has their own kit number, because there is no wrong. There's no wrong projects. All of the projects is under your profile is because you have markers connected to those people. This is so elementary.
That they use GEDmatch.com and choose the wrong population, so they all can get the same results. So they all can get the same results. Uh-oh, you guys were just exposed. Sister Sleep, Ethel, Sleepy, E, Kelly, Sliding, Richard. You ain't no pastor, Mr. Richardson. And MJ, your hookah wrong, your hookah nana, you kahana nana nana, wah, all of y'all. Tell me I'm lying. Any Black person who took a DNA test. Now, let me go to the next part of the slide. Okay, hold on. Let me get this out the way. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, just me a second. Give Sister Cher-ry a second, because I got to get over here to this next part of the slide. Okay. All right. Is it going to slide on over? All right. Give me a second. Y'all know Facebook don't give me.
Working out the DNA results.
Come on, video. All right.
I'll probably come back on.
How y'all make this go over?
Hopefully I have the email.
Okay. Okay. This is what I'm going to do. Because this don't want to act right. Oh, okay. I think it's sliding. All right. So right here, I know I wanted to get the other part. I wanted to get the other part, not this part. Hold on. So let me stop screen sharing and let me get that second slide, and then we'll get to all of it, because this is a break stuff down. She got to break this stuff down to you.
My ministry.
Let me get the other part of the actual thing. I think that's it. Okay. Is that right? Yep, that was right. Okay. I'm not a DNA expert. Can you please explain to us this post, this blasting post that you put up here? This is hefty, a hefty charge. Not saying I don't believe you, because you. So break this down for us, sis, because I'm not a DNA expert.
So she's not a DNA expert, but yet and still, we just heard Cher-ry Love parading around as though she agrees, which she does. But now she's not a DNA expert because she needs someone to break it down, because she has no clue of what she's looking at. She has no clue of what she's looking at. So she's asking someone else to break it down, but yet she read a post and emphatically with tremendous joy agreed with the post. This is the foolishness. Okay?
Yeah, I'll try to make it short as possible, but a lot of Hebrews like to use BDmatch.com to prove that they are Israelite, but the problem is this. If you look at all of their DNA results, they get the same results in the same order. Now, I know that the results can be the same, but GED is more populated oriented, which means the way they process data is different than other DNA sites, such as Ancestry and 23andMe.
No doy, it processes it differently. You know why? Because Ancestry is not dealing with African populations based off tribes. They're dealing with mostly haplogroups and migration patterns. That's the reason why. They're not narrowing it down. They're not narrowing it down to the chromosome. This is why people use GEDmatch. Because they want to know. People use GEDmatch because they want to know down to the chromosome. What exact tribes am I dealing with? Why do you think when you look at 23andMe, when you look at Ancestry, when you look at these type of sites outside of GEDmatch, why don't you see Limba there? Why don't you see Ethiopian Jew there? Why don't you see any of that? You know what you see? Nigeria. You see the region. You see Cameroon. You see Southeastern Bantu. You see what else? You'll probably see somewhere like Ghana. But you're not going to see a tribe breakdown. When I heard this, I'm like, this is absolute nonsense. This is absolute madness because they don't deal with tribes. That's the whole point of you uploading it to GEDmatch so that they can take the raw DNA and break it down by tribe because they're dealing with a whole different program than they are dealing with in Ancestry. It don't take rocket science to figure this out. Why do you think the haplogroups keep changing on Ancestry? 1 minute you go in, you're 40% from Nigeria. Then you go in 6-7 months later, the percentages drop. But if you go to GEDmatch, you don't see a difference from Limba, and then next thing you know, 6 months later, Limba's gone, and they got another name there or another tribe. It don't work like that. It doesn't work that way because they're dealing with migration patterns. They're dealing with haplogroups and migration patterns on Ancestry. GEDmatch is dealing with the tribe. So your tribe can't change because you can't change DNA. You cannot change physical DNA. The DNA that I have come from the people that are connected to me. You can't change that. But you can change migration patterns. Many of us migrate all the time. I lived in Jacksonville, Florida, and migrated to Atlanta. That's migrating. So guess what? Guess what? It'll show me living, this is what Ancestry does. It'll show me living 6 months in Jacksonville, 8 months, a year, 2-3 years in Jacksonville. Then once I move and migrate, change my address to Georgia, then you go back in the system, you don't see a Florida driver's license anymore because now I've migrated to Georgia and now I have a Georgia driver's license. So the haplogroup changes based off of where I migrate to. This is what I'm saying. This stuff is so simple. But when you have agendas and presuppositions and when you're Proverb-Less, you do stuff like this. You're not fighting for the Most High. You're not fighting for Jesus. You're a Hasatan. That's exactly what you are.
Which is mostly the reason why they do not use those sites to prove or help prove their Israelite ancestry. So also,
keep going.
Yeah, also it is very hard to trace your DNA results back to the peoples of the early AD and BC. And it is especially even more difficult to trace your DNA results back because of the many mixings of the DNA of the peoples of North and South America from generations to generations. They use the wrong project and population.
They use how can you, and I'm going to show y'all in part 2 of the video, I'm going to show you how that's a lie. That is a blatant lie. You cannot, first of all, you can't even choose which projects you want. That's why you upload the raw DNA, so they give you the projects that your DNA is a part of. That right there is a blatant lie.
And basically, GED Match has different populations that is used more to target one's background ancestry.
So she just said you can't trace it, but GED Match has a wide range of population that you're able to trace your ancestry. But she just said you can't trace your ancestry. Which one is it? Is it you can or you can't? Which one is it?
So therefore, when you use GED Match, you have to know which project and population to choose that is based off of your ancestry. So when you choose the wrong project and population, you're going to get faulty results, because when you run your raw DNA file, the project processes your information based off of the project that you have chose.
That's not true. The whole point of you uploading your raw DNA is for them to process your kit to give you the project files that matches your DNA. That's why they tell you to upload it. They're not running it right then. They've already processed it based off of your raw DNA report. That's the whole reason why they ask you for it, to put you in the different populations in the regions that of those people that have your link to your markers. This is crazy.
So therefore, they get the same faulty results. Is the picture still on there on the screen?
I'm about to bring it back up. I just went to the website so I can show people these hood rats. Right. Is this the website these hood rats was?
That they should use is Blvd V3. They can also use Project Ethio Helix plus French and Calculator K10 plus French, or they can use Ethio Helix K12 Africa only because of the admixture from the mixing during slavery. They can also use Project.
Would you like me to read this? Or?
Okay, so here it is. We're about to pull up a post that they said that showed that I put up on Facebook. So I want y'all to listen to this, pay attention to this post and what I put up, giving the markers that was in my DNA, okay? So we're gonna look at this and hear what they say and see that they can't grasp the simplicity of the post, okay? So let's look at it.
Or would you like to read it, sis?
You can read it.
It says here from William Brown, I have over 2,000 DNA matches from African Americans to Africans in Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Madagascar, and Kenya, who are either, Igbo, Yoruba, Limba, Luya, or Bantu. All of us carry the same DNA marker on the paternal side. In the past, I've displayed email conversations of Igbo family in the Barbados who never lost their identity, as well as the Yoruba. Now here is a match between myself and the Limba tribe, relative living in Madagascar. The purpose of DNA is to educate myself, wife, kids, and family. Those who want to know, it's never to boast or display any level of superiority or salvation guarantee. Shalom. Now, already in this statement, he's already contradicted himself. Because exactly. if this was no purpose of salvation or serve any direct purpose, then why all of this?
So let's understand this here, okay? I don't know if it's a simple post. It was a post I put up probably, I think, about 2 years ago. And this particular person who on the show had been trolling me since then. It was almost a year and a half ago I put this post up, and that person was trolling me. So I ended up blocking that person. So I guess she ended up getting up with Sister Cher-ry because she already said the whole purpose of her coming on Cher-ry's show was to come at me. Now, I mean, it's a simple post. Sister Cher-ry can't comprehend why I'm putting the post up. It says it clearly in the post. I mean, I don't know how you can't comprehend that. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that, but I'm just trying to, I mean, this is basic. This is basic level understanding. I simply said here in the bottom part of the post, the purpose of DNA is to educate myself. I didn't say my church. I didn't say Facebook. I didn't say other people to get them to accept them being Israelites no, I said myself, my wife, my kids, and my family. So I don't understand how that's a contradiction. It's not a contradiction. It's no different than anybody else wanting to educate themselves of where they came from. It makes no sense. It's just like people want to educate themselves on finding out who their great-great-grandparents were, or going through a photo album trying to get information. It don't, I mean, this is so simple. I mean, even a child can understand the purpose of why I said it. I'm telling you why I said it. I'm not making it some secret or trying to be slick or cunning or hot. No, I said the purpose of the DNA is to educate myself, wife, kids, and family. Those who want to know. I said those who want to know. I didn't say I'm going to force it on everybody or tell everybody. I said it's to educate myself, my wife, my kids, my family, and those who want to know. That's why when you go on my page, okay, when you go on my page, on my YouTube channel, all right, our ministry been around almost 3, 4, going on 4 years. Okay, you're lucky. It's very rare that you find any form of video or teaching while I'm teaching that we Israel, because many of the people that are a part of our ministry already know who they are. They already embrace who they are. So now our ministry is set up for people to have the now what, who have the now what. Okay, now that you know who you are, how do you live? What is the gospel? What is the purpose? Are you justified by faith or are you justified by the law? All of these type of things, biblical understanding, okay? So you don't see me teaching, we Israel. Now, there may be some videos where you see me at another church, preferably Christian churches, that email me or contact me asking me to come into their church, not me emailing them asking, can I come to their church? You might see some videos of that. And those are most of the people that I teach it to if I'm requested, not me going around and doing all this other foolishness, okay, that she's talking about, that she can't seem to comprehend why I put the post up, okay? But that's a whole nother conversation that I don't want to get into.
Exactly. Why all of this? Okay, go ahead, sis. You can proceed.
And if you scroll down, you'll see him saying using GD match, and then he writes like Limba on it or something like that. Screenshot.
Yep, I'm about to see if I can increase it.
Yeah.
Still kind of small right over here in this this right part. Let me see if I can increase. Yep, here we go.
So basically what you got here, what you're showing here is him saying which one to click on, right?
No, he doesn't tell them which project and population. And the reason why I believe he doesn't, well, they all do not say it publicly, because especially when you're taking like.
Now, listen to the stutter now, because she's about to lie. She's about to lie. This is why she's stuttering. And Brian asked her, so he's telling everybody what to click on, because her premise and the whole point of her being on here is that we deceive people into choosing the wrong project. So Brian is saying, so he's telling people what project to click on. And she says, but no, I'm not saying that he tell, you know why? Because I'm not telling you what to click on. The post that's on there, it's one post. It's the post what I'm telling you why I got the results done. And the other one is to show you the GEDmatch site that I use. It's not to tell you to go get a DNA test. It's not to tell you what project to click on. It's simply showing you what my results are. This is why she's fumbling and she coming up with the whole, this is what I believe. No, ain't no what you believe. Show the proof. You're on her platform to drag us through the mud with your facts. Then show the proof. You know why you can't show it? Because it's not there. So you use Cher-ry because you know that Cher-ry is gassed up for anything against the Hebrew Israelites. And so anybody speaking against him, all you've been looking for is a platform, sister. That's why you have been trolling me, trying to get a platform. And you finally found one through Sister Cher-ry. So you used Cher-ry to get on a platform and you embarrassed her yourself and you brought her into a situation that can bring legal ramifications. This is what it's about.
When you're looking at your results, the DNA website, like GED Match, and if you are getting the same populations in the same order, that should raise like some red flags.
That's not raising a red flag, because here's why. Because everybody that uploads their GEDmatch don't get the same projects unless they match. So if I got the same project and I got the same results as the E, Pastor Kelly, or anybody else, which there are other people in our ministry that use the same project that don't have the same exact results. And I'm gonna show that in part 2 of the video when I show you how to use and read GEDmatch and the results and the populations. So she's telling a fib again. The reason why we have the same results is because we have this connected with the same markers to the same people. That's why. And again, I'm gonna show you others who don't have the same markers, who don't have the same list, not even exact the same.
So deep down, I know that they find that to be a little fishy, but they do not want to admit it. And that's why they do not tell people publicly about which project and population to pick.
I wonder if anybody out there would know what number they've been telling them to go on.
Yeah, for sure. And I love how he says he puts the Bantu, and that's another fault regarding Black Hebrew Israelite belief, is because they use Bantu to prove that the Bantu peoples are Israelites. African Americans do not have a majority Bantu background. Bantu admixture is still evident, but not the majority, such as Niger, Congo, being the largest present admixture found in African American DNA makeup. And studies show that African Americans usually have like 30% Bantu admixture, and the Bantu people or speakers of the Bantu languages spread from Central Africa, African Great Lakes to Southern Africa. So most familiar are the Fang people, which is they are in Cameroon, the Luya people, who are from Kenya, the Swahili people, Zambia peoples, and the Xhosa people of South Africa. African Americans are not one monolithic group of people because of the DNA mixes through generations and generations. But looking at the linguistics and the cultures of African people who were taken away violently in the transatlantic slave trade, their background is made up majority of the Niger Congo people, which consists of people who take vastly of Central and West Africa, which are like the Bambara people, Mande people, the Cushite people, Yoruba peoples, and the Igbo people. As you see, a lot of Hebrew the Messianic Hebrews, they will say that, Bantu DNA evidence to prove that they are, the African Americans are Hebrew Israelites, which is a bit faulty because they think that people taken into the slave trade were majority Bantu. And even so, if that is not what they think, linguistics show that the whereabouts of the regions of West Africa during those times. And like a great example would be the Nok civilization, which was Iron Age population named after the Ham village in the Kaduna state of Nigeria. So, yeah, and that civilization was basically from 1500 BC and ended in 500 AD. So, yeah, so so therefore that contradicts the Hebrew Israelite belief, because as we see, there were people populating that area, which makes up the majority of African American ancestral DNA.
Okay, so right here we're still on. Man, this is deep. Right here we're still on his post, and as you can see the symbol here, it says gedmatch.com, of course, or just GED match, right? So I'm gonna just go here to the website so we can show you that this match up. So you see the emblem GED match. Everybody see that that's the same. That is right here. And right here is this what he wrote, or is this what's coming from GED match?
It looks like he just took a screenshot. He did it on his phone, and he just took a screenshot just to show that, well, to try to prove that he's an Israelite.
Oh my gosh, man. Let me get
Okay, G-Con just walked in the building. God bless you, dear brother. Welcome to the panel. It's about to really get real up here. Let me read a little portion of this, and I can't wait to hear what you and Sister Salam and G-Con collab on this particular situation. It says, when you contact a potential match, you should include in your email your kit number and the kit number you think you matched with. Many people manage multiple kits, and they have no other way of confirming the match you think you have. It is generally considered to be bad form to send out emails to large numbers of names on your result list without first reviewing those results in some detail. This falls into the category of spam email. Okay, so I guess that's instructions. And then he gives right here, it says overlap is the number of the position that exits in common between both kits without regard to whether the match or not. The amount of overlap along with the large CM amount is usually a good indication of the relative quality of the match. Matches with low overlap have that field highlighted with pink or red background. Depending on the overlap value, matches with a very low overlap are not shown. Okay, so I guess this is an example, or this must have been his. I'm not sure, and it's really hard to make out in this here screenshot that he put up there. And then he put DNA matches Limba.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Okay. DNA matches Limba. Okay, so let me scroll over a little bit. Y'all see that right here? Right here where my cursor is, this is, I guess, what he's trying to say. Okay, so G-Con, I don't know how much you have heard. Sister.
Okay, so I'm gonna move on because I kind of want to get into some more things. But this particular woman, Salam, and who's Cher-ry promoting, she simply said that I use this DNA to promote on my church website. On my church website promotes DNA kits, getting DNAs done, all this type of stuff. So let's go to real quick. I want to just go to Jet Match real quick, and we're gonna look on the front of the page. Okay. Now let's look at this. Is Jet Match safe? What does it say? What does it say about Jet Match? Because she's saying we get faulty results, and that way Jet Match is giving us faulty projects to use, because we can't just choose a project. They have to give us the projects. Okay, so she's bringing an accusation against JetMatch for being faulty. Okay, so, and with the way these people are, to be honest with you, you almost have to feel unsafe. Okay, the way Cher-ry is conducting herself, you almost have to feel unsafe, man. You got to be, you have to guard yourself, because these are the type of people that hurt you. These are the type of people that will hurt you, that will unknowingly, under the cover, put a hit on you. These are the type of folks, okay, that will pay a hitman. I'm telling you, these type of folks, they are getting so desperate that they literally will pay a hitman. They're getting the desperate measures. So we have to make sure that we guard ourselves. This is why it's important for us to give the information to the authorities. It's important for us to make sure that if there's any type of wrong information presented about your ministry, about your business, get the authorities involved. Okay, get your retaining a lawyer or something. Get them involved, because folks like Cher-ry will mess around and do something because they're desperate. So we got to make sure that we protect ourselves. Okay, you got to protect yourself. I'm telling you. Okay, I'm telling you, man. The FBI looking at the brew, they need to look at folks like this. They need to look at folks like this. That's what you're talking about, putting folks on the FBI list. The FBI need to do that. They need to be paying attention to what's going on with people like Sister Cher-ry. I don't know, one day she might send somebody to our ministry. I got to make sure that, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm doing this, to protect my ministry, my wife, my kids, the people that are part of our ministries. We don't know what type of folks we're dealing with them. These are internet people. You have to make sure that you hold internet people in a certain type of framework, because folks over the internet, them the ones that hurt you or get you hurt. You got to protect yourself out here dealing with these type of folks, man. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's look at JetMatch. Okay, let's see what it say here. Hold on, let me go back here. All right, JetMatch. So let's look at this. Let me see. Blowing this up. Whoa. All right. I want to blow this up so y'all can see what's going on. All right. So let's look at this. So this is a simple Google. This is just simple Google. It don't take no heavy research for this. This is simple Google. Okay, this is simple Google. Now let's look at this. Is JetMatch safe? In the context of privacy and safety, JetMatch is clearly as unsafe to anyone who is it unsafe to? Who may be of interest to law enforcement agencies. You know, because we have to read this slow and break this down, because you'll tell folks like Cher-ry will take this and say, see, it says that JetMatch is unsafe, so it's unreliable. No, within the context of the short description of JetMatch, it tells you who is unsafe to, okay? It's unsafe to anyone who may be of interest to law enforcement agencies. Why is it unsafe to them? Because JetMatch has received a high esteem record for being used by FBI and governmental agencies, such as the military and things of that nature, okay? In which the military don't even want their troops using JetMatch because of possible matches, because they go into these different countries, okay? But when it comes down to law enforcement, they highly use JetMatch. So if it's so unsafe and we can't trust it, and we're getting faulty results and all this other stuff, then there need to be some people. See, these are accusations that are brought against JetMatch that can be criminal and lawsuit and receive a lawsuit for putting out there in a video talking about JetMatch results are faulty and flaky and giving wrong results. And this, when I emailed them, I'm going to wait to see what they say when it comes back. Okay, let's look at this. In the context of privacy and safety, jet matches clearly as unsafe to anyone who may be of interest to law enforcement agencies. Police warrants can also affect relatives since they have highly similar genomes. Okay. Now, I'm telling you, I'm gonna come back and do a part 2 to this video. Okay. All right. Part 2 to these video. All right. Well, brother anonymous by nature, man. I mean, if you got a social security number, they already got your DNA. When you slid out the womb, they drew blood. They drew blood when you slid out the womb, unless you was born in the woods somewhere or on an island where there's no hospitals. If you was born in America in any hospital, they've already withdrawn your blood and took your DNA, brother. So that you might as well hang that up. Your DNA is already consumed and confiscated. Okay, from the time you slid out of the womb, they took your blood, they did fingerprints, they did all that. When they took your scalp, stuff off your head, all that type of stuff. Okay, so just want to drop that out there. Okay, all right. So let's look at this here. All right, let's go on to the next thing here. All right, and I'll go into this another. I want to deal with the lies that they are displaying against my assembly, against my church, and against myself. Okay, to be honest with you, I contemplated about even doing this because I don't even give these type of people, okay, I don't give these type of people any airtime. But because they decided to put, they could have just said my name, which she said my name before, okay, that got back to me. But I didn't say nothing. I'm like, okay, whatever, man. I'm not studying. I'm over here preaching the gospel. We got a lot of busy stuff going on with our ministry and my family. I ain't got time for all that other stuff. But when you brought in my name and my ministry as a character assassination, now I have to stand up and defend, okay, the ministry that Christ gave me to protect, okay, where I filter the gospel through to educate people and empower people. Now you're trying to discredit the name of the ministry. Now you're going to get a response from me. And this is where the reason why you put it out there on the internet, you unlisted it, but I'm going to tell you like this, you better delete the video. Okay, this is what I'm telling you right now. Cher-ry Love, if you listening or anybody connected to her, you better delete the video because I got the unlisted link, which means it's still out there circulating. So here's the thing. If you want to make sure that you don't want any necessary next step actions, okay, because we know you can show up to court. We know you can show up to court, Cher-ry Love, because you on the internet 10 hours a day. So we know you ain't working nowhere like that. So we know you can show up to court. Okay, so here's the thing. All I'm telling you is you better delete the video. Okay, that's all I'm going to tell you. That's all I'm going to tell you because this is character assassination of myself and my ministry. All right, I don't know if anyone educated you in that area, but you just can't be running around here bumping your gun, flying off at the mouth, promoting falsehoods. And since y'all promoting that my church is campaigning and on the church website, we promoting DNA kits. First of all, our website is under construction. I haven't even launched the website. We don't even have a website to my church. That's when I knew that y'all were in trouble from that point on, okay? We don't even have a website. Our website is under construction, and I'm glad the Most High gave me the wisdom to be patient and not launch the doggone thing for this type of stuff, okay? So here's the thing, all right? All we have is Facebook and YouTube and other social media. We don't have a website. So I knew that y'all were in trouble from that moment, okay? So let's deal with this, all right? So I said, well, what are they talking about? Boom Church. What are they talking about, okay? What are they talking about? So I went and Googled. I said, let me Google Boom Church. So nothing came up. Then I Googled Boom Church DNA. I say, wait a minute. Boom Church. Boom, okay, let me see if this... And the first thing I noticed was Boom Church Orlando. I said, wait a minute, we don't have an assembly in Orlando. We got an assembly in Jacksonville. We got an assembly in Fort Lauderdale. We got an assembly in Atlanta. We got an assembly in Nairobi, Kenya. We got an assembly in all these other areas, okay, other places where we got mentioned. We don't have no Boom Church Orlando, not yet. So I say something, hold on. So I click on the link. I clicked on the link and it took me to the Facebook page. All right, well, this is our Facebook page here. Okay, now look at this. All right, look at what it says. This is Boom Church here. All right, Boom Church, believers of one Messiah Church. Boom. This is our Facebook page. All right, this is our Facebook follow page, and you can follow that page if you like. Okay, so I said, wait a minute. Okay, this is our page. So when I went back to Google, I clicked on this link that says Boom Church Orlando. So it took me to Boom Church Orlando Facebook page. I said, wait a minute, hold on. I remember this church, because I had to tell a couple of our members that that wasn't our church, because they went on Facebook and just clicked the like button, all right, because they thought it was our church. This church is in Orlando, and I looked at the logo. I said, wait a minute, this is not Boom Church. I mean, this is Boom Church, but this is another Boom. This is Body of One Ministries. I said, wait a minute, hold on. You telling me, and here's the link down here. If you look on, let me blow it up real quick. Let's see if I can blow it up. Let me see if I can blow it up here. Trying to find, okay, the Zoom, there it is. Okay, here it is right here. Body of One Ministry, okay? Body of One Ministry. Now look at this. This is their website. I mean, this is their logo. They have a circle with a B and a 1 in the middle of it, okay? That's their logo, but it's Body of One Ministry. So I say, well, okay, let me scroll down. Let me look. They have a website. So you click on the website, boom.church. Okay, that's their website, boom.church. I say, wait a minute, hold on. Let me click on the link. So I clicked on the link to the website, and it took me to their website. So when you go on that website, they have what's called right here on the drop down, okay? They have right here on the drop down under the welcome, you click, and it has it says New Christian DNA. So now this is a Christian church, y'all. This it is now. Now we're being accused as Israelites of promoting DNA because we want to prove to somebody that we're an Israelite and prove to other people. Well, this particular church has DNA testing. So I said, wait a minute, hold on. Let me go under to make sure. So I started doing a little more research. So I scroll down, I see the DNA testing, and it says, are you a match? So I said, wait a minute, let me see it. Because I want to make sure that I do my due diligence, that I don't bring any accusations against this particular ministry, okay? To make sure that I don't put nothing out there that is false, that's saying that they promoting DNA tests, all because I see the word DNA testing, so I had to make sure. So I said, well, let me go look around. I kept looking around, I scrolled, so I kept reading. And it says here, under the DNA testing, it says, what are you made of? What is the Body of One Ministries made of? How does it all work together for the glory of God? Our DNA testing classes, I say, wait a minute, DNA testing classes have been designed to both inform you about who BOOM is and what kind of church we are, as well as give us an opportunity to find out what makes you tick and where exactly you fit in the BOOM family. Now, if you look at this conversation, this is not talking about DNA testing, genomes, haplogroups. No, it's simply a play on words. Okay, it's almost like when growing up in church, especially in the Pentecostal church, we use terms like, hey, do you have the ministry's DNA? Or hey, if you're part of BOOM, you should have our DNA, which means it's another play on words of you should have our attributes. You should move like we move. You should understand the mission, all these type of words. It's a play on words. It's not even actual DNA testing. It's like a metaphor being used to explain what the makeup of this ministry is. So guess what? Now, this is a more foolishness because now
they are bringing this ministry into the equation now too. Which if I decide to send an email to the pastor of this church, okay, because now they're slandering this church, saying that they promoting DNA testing, okay, when this church is not doing that. This church is simply using a play on word for DNA tests, which have nothing to do with DNA test kits like Ancestry. It's all about finding out, do you fit this ministry spiritually? Okay, that's what it's about. Okay, so let's read this. Look what it says. DNA testing is the first step towards becoming a member at the Body of One Ministries. Come find out God's plan for attending. Okay, now when you click down here, I want y'all to see this. Okay, now they have the DNA test. They have DNA tests for adults and DNA tests for youth. I say, wait a minute, let me click on this thing to see what, to make sure, because I had to do my research. So I clicked on the DNA testing for adults. Let me see if they got some kits. So a PDF come up, okay? The PDF comes up. Look what it says. Spiritual gifts test. This is, but they on Sister Cher-ry platform going crazy, accusing us, which we're not even the same ministry. With reason why, if you clicked on the link and did a simple Google, you'll find out that Believers of One Messiah and Body of One Ministry isn't the same ministry, okay? And nor do we have a website promoting DNA testing, and neither does this Christian church. This church is simply talking about spiritual gifts. Do you have the spiritual gifts DNA? And it has the test on here. It says how to take this test, okay? And it says here, answer each statement below according to who you are, not who you would like to be or think you ought to be. Okay, how true are these statements of you? So basically, it's almost like a temperament evaluation. Okay, that's all it is. And they're using the terminology DNA tests, but they're not talking about the natural practical. They're talking about the spiritual. Okay, this is the reason why I came on here. All right. I don't care if they call my name and whatever. But when you start coming after my family, my church family, and the ministry, and you start trying to put a bad light on our ministry when we're not doing any of the things that you accuse us of, simply just all you had to do was ask. But no, you didn't ask. You parading yourself around as an apologist. Okay, one who should be trusted with information. And this don't make sense. You call us dumb, stupid, all this other stuff. But it's clear to me who possessed those traits. Because all it took was my son, my 8-year-old could have did this in finding this information out. But every label and every name that you've laid upon us, this only proves that it's only attached to yourself. And so this makes no sense. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing here. I think that's it. That's done. We don't have to do no more. All right. But here's the thing, okay? I want y'all to, again, I'm gonna end up doing like a session and showing how you read the results on JetMatch. So that way, because I know a lot of people get confused. They be like, at first I was too, you know, but I had to kind of start looking at it and studying it and got an understanding I'm not an expert, but I got a fairly good understanding of how to read the populations and how to read the information. So that way people who do upload their videos or people who do get their JetMatch test done, that it can help you, okay? But to that sister Salam or whoever she is, and Cher-ry and all that, this, come on, man, you gotta be better than this, okay? Whatever your hatred is, all right, you need to work on that. You need to go fast. You need to go pray, okay? I pray, my prayer is that the Lord reaches your heart, change your heart. And anybody and everybody that's a part of your community that have issues, okay? None of us, we all got issues. Yeah, we all fall short, but some things are blatantly that we should know better as believers. And especially if you say you represent the Lord Jesus Christ, okay? You say that you represent the Bible and you represent orthodoxy and you always quoting Paul and all this other stuff. when this is clear evidence that you lack in a lot of areas, okay? And a lot of these areas that you lack in is practical that spill over into your spiritual life, all right? So I pray that the Most High reach you. I pray that you won't have the level of pride, that you would at least admit your faults, okay, in this situation, all right? And that way you can be restored, all right? So at the end of the day, y'all be blessed. I'm gonna get off of here. And I'm gonna be off of here. I'm gonna get off of here so I can go. Huh? Okay. All right. Just talking to my wife. All right, I'm gonna get off of here, y'all, and we'll see y'all later. Okay. Shalom to you.